Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Finance Junkies. We are here Wednesday, 9:07 p.m. How are you guys doing?
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It is.
So, how's your virtual date going to go tonight? Tell me about that. I'd like to hear about.
It's not as fun as actually. Are you going out with your wives today? Did you take them out anywhere?
Honestly, if I didn't get the Vision Pro today, I would have missed it. I would have taken my wife out, but I was like, bro, I got the fucking today. And she's like,
I got more important things to do.
Wait, really? That's what you said? That's hilarious.
Well, look, TMI, but like my wife gave birth December 27th, and you have to wait 40 days, like the Jews crossing the fucking desert, in order for you to have access to the wife again. And we hit the 40 days recently, so I was like,
you're like, no Valentine's till 40 days.
I was like, let's have some fun today.
I cooked for my wife. I made her dinner.
What'd you make?
What did I make? It's a polenta basically with shrimp and salad.
Oh, wow.
It's like I made her a hot dog.
No, this was
You had a kielbasa.
This took a minute. Actually. There's a lot of little things that go into these dishes that there's like a recipe, of course. So I follow.
You know what the winning thing is to impress a chick? Shrimp scampi. It's the easiest thing in the world to make. A little white wine sauce, some garlic, right? Just get the pasta right and put a little salt and pepper on it. Shit, winning strategy.
I agree. Do you want to get the Apple Vision Pro? You want to get it?
Oh yeah, it's sitting over here.
All right, so Carlos got the Vision Pro. Everyone I know on Twitter has been returning it, even though they got it. So Carlos is going to need 2 weeks to figure out if he returns it or not.
2 weeks to figure this thing out. So here it is.
Should we make a side bet?
I don't think you're going to return it because you love Apple. I just don't know if you're going to use it every day, though.
I have no clue. That's why I was like, let's wait to do this live. I mean, do we want to do that now? Or we want to talk about
yeah, well, we'll talk about some other
up.
stuff and then we'll unbox it.
Open it up. What are you in a rush for?
This is the most, anyone that has an Apple product, this is the most rewarding part of the Apple thing when you pull this thing.
We can cover stocks after they're up. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, let's go on to
Bitcoin. Bitcoin is cranking.
VR.
Bitcoin is up. Stocks are up.
Let's see. Come on.
All right. I've seen a bunch of these videos. So they've got
there's another one.
They've got what do they have? They got the like protecting thing right on top of it.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of shit that comes in there.
It does show you the power of Apple because all of these memes and everything, because like everybody's talking about VR and AR again. So I think this is good.
Fuck balls. Look at that shit.
$4,000, man.
I got the cheapo one. I got the 256K thing.
Wait, 256 megs is the
256 gig is the small
gigs. I'm sorry, yeah.
And then the terabyte.
How much is it? How much is it for 512? How much if you double your memory? How much do they charge you?
This one was 32, then 34, and then 39, I think. All right, so here we go. I'm holding it in my hand for the first time.
How heavy is it?
Hold on, let me see. Let's
compare. I got the cheap $4,000 one.
No, I'm gonna compare it to this. This is my Quest 2 Oculus. Okay, so that's the Oculus.
Guys, if it's a choice between college and Apple, Apple's gonna win every time.
Well, this is the Oculus. I forgot which version of the Oculus this is. It's about, I don't know, maybe
2, right? You got the Quest 2.
This one.
I think that's the 2. I'm not sure.
I think it's a 2 as well. And this one,
or is that the Rift?
I'm not sure actually. I don't
even
remember
before that.
But whichever one this is, and I think it's the 2. I think you're right. The Vision Pro is about maybe 15% heavier than the Quest 2.
Okay.
It actually doesn't feel that heavy. All right, how do I do this? Take this shit off. Oh, that's the power thing for it. Now I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, put it on for the first time. Let's see if it fits. Let's see how it feels.
Oh, this thing is nice. Holy shit, this material.
Carbon fiber on that.
Material is. I gotta say,
$4,000 for carbon fiber, dude.
Just like initial
They weaved in gold, little gold filaments in between.
Initial feel of it, it feels like a really good device. I gotta say, it feels like a very premium.
I mean, it better, dude. It costs $4,000. It better make.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like. Look, I picked this. I forgot what this was. It was about $500.
Dude, it looks like some Chinese crap.
It feels good. It feels good.
It looks like some Chinese crap, dude. They're selling ads. They're not selling hardware.
I mean, look at like this part. It feels a bit janky, but the device itself feels solid. But this thing does feel premium. Here we go.
Wow, look at that. All right, put it on. Let's see if it fits.
Oh, that thing comes up. Oh, it's like the MagSafe thing.
You got to keep it higher so we see what you're doing.
No, but I was taking this.
Why don't you make him full screen? Why, put us on the side.
Why am I?
Or make him, larger.
Or So this is pretty cool. How the thing connects.
Oh, is that magnets? How does that come off? Is that magnetic?
It's like the MagSafe on your power cord.
I like that.
It just connects on.
That's cool.
All right. So it definitely has that iPhone feel, right? The aluminum thing, right?
Yeah.
It definitely feels chunky. All right, let's see. Not put this thing on.
Just might have to adjust.
It came with another strap too, because there's one comfortable one and that's the uncomfortable one. Do you have the other
strap?
strap?
But I did want to feel with it. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is like, people that have snowboard boots, it's got this thing on the side that feels like it connects like a way a snowboard or a ski boot feels. All right, let me see. Okay, I don't see you guys. How stupid do I look?
You don't look that stupid.
Ski goggles.
Ski goggles. That's it.
Let me see. Honestly,
dude, there's people at coffee shops in San Francisco wearing it.
How's the weight on it? Like,
I want to try the other one. Hold on, I want to try the other thing. The other strap. Look, I just put it on for the first time. It does not feel that heavy, but I'm also a fucking headbanger metalhead from whatever. My neck muscles can handle. I could put the fucking Mac Studio on my face and I wouldn't feel it. All right, so let me bust out the other strap. Should be down here. So there we go.
By the way, guys, while Carlos is doing that, Buffett sold 10 million shares of Apple.
Yeah, that was curious.
Really?
Because he did it.
Wait. How many does he have? What's the total?
So he has 995 million.
Right. Wow.
But he still sold 10 million. Dude, he still sold. He hasn't sold in like years, dude. I mean, like,
that's nothing.
I know, but he also did it a day before he was going to get his dividend payout. So he basically lost $3 or $4 million in dividend payouts by not waiting the extra day. Although you could argue that
he is too much to pay for that growth. I think he's getting a little scared of the lack of growth and the PE. Right?
No. You cannot read and just selling. No. I mean,
dude, 10 million shares is a lot of shares. I know it's a little.
It's a lot of shares for me and you.
Yeah,
not for him.
No, he thinks it's rat poison. He's like, I don't want to buy no rat. Oh, okay, here we go. The brick. Let's see this fucking battery thing. All right, so this is what's this? All right. Oh, so this is
the thing you got to carry in your pocket.
No,
that's the thing that's going to make a Novix rich one day. They're going to fix that battery.
This is another face mask thing. Oh, okay. This feels like, you know what this feels like? You know those
I think that's a cock ring.
It's the same material as like those mouth pads when you have like a mouth pad on your wrist.
Yeah.
This is that same sort of squishy material. I guess it's like a different face mask. All right, so here's the thing that's gonna make a Novix rich. This fucking thing. Let's see.
This is gonna make a Novix rich. Can you open it up? I want to see if a Novix battery's in there. They made 8. I wonder if they put it into all 8 VP Pros.
This has some good weight to it. That battery has some good weight to it. It feels like a laptop battery. All right, and then you got a power cord. But where's the other strap? Come on.
Oh, so you like wearing straps, Carlos?
Where's the other strap on?
Okay, let's get into some stock stuff while Carlos is playing that, and then we'll go back to this. Let's talk about this. SMCI, $900. Market didn't care at all about CPI. They're overlooking it. KRIS, what's your take? What's going on right now?
Perfect take, KRIS.
The market's really stupid.
Oh,
That's
boy.
it. The market's just stupid. Like, I think a lot of people are giving this a premium that's way beyond what's deserved. It's a hardware company. I'm going to keep saying it's a hardware company. But then again, now I'm seeing the CEO shaking hands with Pat Gelsinger. So I don't know, man. I don't know. you know. So
What are you
he's
so upset
basically-
about? Don't you hold shares in this?
No,
Huh?
he's-
No.
he's
No,
out of
I'm
it.
out. I got out a long time ago.
When did you get out though?
Yeah,
Oh,
like around 200 something. So I made my money in it.
geez.
Well,
So
when
I
did you
doubled up.
buy in? When did you buy in?
The 90s.
So I mean, you're fine.
Yeah.
You made 100%.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
That's the
here's
way I
the-
feel about it. Nvidia. I made some money, but
Dude, how
To
did-
push back against the market being stupid, our friend Meyer, friend of the panel, he said it only trades at a 36x PE using their current earning estimates.
So this is where Meyer fucks up a lot when it comes to his assessment. Yes, that's true that its forward PE looks like that, but that's only because that's a magical number that you think that's going to keep going into the future, right? So if demand drops off, what happens to that PE? Do not let the PE guide your investing, because that's what happens. A lot of people, they look at one statistic and they're like, oh yeah, this is cheap, it's good, but then they don't take into consideration that a lot of this business is cyclical. If you put on what Ali Godsey from Databricks said today, I think that's very important, that AI and a lot of these models are going to end up being commoditized. You do not want to be in an industry that's reliant on people buying hardware, which by the way is super low margin. Even if these guys were to grow their top line like crazy for the next 3 years, it still wouldn't bake in the forward growth that's already baked into the share price. So
well, so
just-
hold on. If the forward P is 36 and they're going to grow this way, well, hold on. And they're going to grow this way for at least a year or two, considering Nvidia is going to keep growing for a year or two because there's still demand. So wouldn't it be then fairly valued, even undervalued?
okay, so tell me this. What do you think a right PE is for a hardware company with 8% margin?
I mean, that's a good point. It's only 8% margin.
But it's growing 103% year over year.
Doesn't matter. The margin is super, super low, which ends up being, if you look at its nearest competitor like HPE generates similar revenue, but they have very low margin, right? Which means their PE is around 10. So you're paying 3 times forward PE for this low margin business.
I'm sorry, who did you compare it to just now?
Hewlett Packard.
HPE.
So HP. Okay, HP. And
Not
is
HP,
their revenue,
HPE.
Is their revenue growing 100% as well?
No,
Well,
No.
I mean that.
Wait, Chris, what's the ticker? HP what?
HPE.
That's Hewlett Packard, right?
Yeah, Hewlett Packard Enterprise is different. It's not the computer side, but yes.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. So if you look at Hewlett, you look at the analysis for Hewlett Packard Enterprise, how much revenue they generate, how much their gross margins are, and then at the end, how much their operating margins are. And
See,
what the market cap is.
The thing is, you're right. The 8%, that gross margin that they're making, that sucks. But if you're growing 100% revenues and you do that for another 2 years, then maybe it is still cheap. That's all I'm saying. That we don't know when it stops exactly, but I'm assuming Nvidia will continue growing its hardware business for a couple of years at least, while the AI boom continues.
The problem is you're risking a lot for a lot less downside. When it was really low and the PE was really low, the growth rate was there. That was the time that was like super interesting. Get into it. Right now, the valuation has gone way beyond what's normal. And the thing is, you don't know when the correction is going to happen. Like Nvidia next month, or is it this month, can come out and say, hey, listen, guys, demand is not as strong as people are thinking, or we're doing a lot less CapEx or whatever. And what happens now?
As soon as Nvidia says anything negative, it's over for these
We're fucked.
guys.
The whole thing's fucked. The whole thing's fucked.
Yeah. So you got to be very careful. And so there's other
Palantir's
opportunities in the
fucked too.
market.
Palantir's fucked too if Nvidia says that. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Nvidia controls the narrative for now.
Carlos, you're
Yeah,
muted.
so, yeah.
I was saying I don't think Palantir's fucked because Palantir's thing is it's software, it's not hardware.
No, but the point is,
No,
if
no, the
GPU
AI
demand
thing.
is down, that means enterprises perceptually won't spend as much on AI because GPU is like the epicenter of
Yeah, but isn't the reason why they're getting that they're $25 now is because of the projected revenue that they're going to make on all the contracts?
no.
No. What was their revenue? Even I know this. What is it, 90
Dude,
million?
they guided for 2.68 billion in
Oh.
2024. Their market cap is pushing 60 right now. They're getting a premium. Not like I think they deserve to be at $20, 16 to 20. That's a healthy premium. They're getting the extra 15 billion in market cap because Nvidia is going to the moon. Like I think that's the
Okay, so they're getting the extra premium because the thinking is, a whole bunch of these other companies are going to buy all these chips, and then who are they going to go to when they want to?
Snowflake's at 76. You can't have Palantir at 50 or 20 if Snowflake's at 76. So I think Snowflake's going to correct. If the market takes a correction, Palantir is going to correct. I just don't know if it's going to happen. This market doesn't seem like it wants to stop. Inflation's not stopping.
Well,
it.
no, when everybody believes it doesn't want to stop is when it stops.
But I feel like we've been believing it doesn't want to stop for the past 2 weeks now. You know, maybe
No.
over a year.
I was not believing that until today. Okay.
Why? Why today? What happened today?
What do you mean? Everything was green. Did you not notice everything was green? From the shittiest to the best. Like everything was green. If
Upstart
anyone had,
wasn't green.
if anyone
Upstart
is red today, you are in the wrong stocks. Okay, you got to get rid of your fucking bags.
All right. Speaking of green, we got to give a shout out to one of our junkies here, Mr. Christopher Patel, who's up. Well, he's down 500 on his.
I was so green. I bought more solar stocks. That's how green I was.
Crazy.
Anyway,
He's up like 100 grand, and I think this is not all of his calls on Celsius. So, Chris,
PayPal.
2-3 minutes. Give us a little bit of DD on why this thing is working, and if you think this will stay at these levels, and you'll be good on Celsius. You're muted.
I've spoken about this company to death, man. Like I don't have really a lot more to say. They're on another level of growth right now. They've got a lot of secular tailwinds. They're picking up market share right and left. Just this is not the story I went over this with like Matt and Cashflow Chronicles for like 2 hours, dude. I'm not gonna go over it again. Just tune into that episode a couple of days ago, and you'll get all the DD. But I'll be very blunt, and I'll just keep it simple with you guys. It's a play on the energy drinks market, kind of like shifting over to a little bit more healthier options, and a lot more female demographic is actually going towards this. And so there's a lot of demand. They have a brand partnership with Pepsi, which gives them distribution rights. There's just so much there. I can't really even condense it down in a 5 minutes like conversation.
But the point is, you don't think it's a valuation thing that all the analysts are scared about. You think it's just you think they're just going to grow into the valuation. That's your sort of core thing.
The problem here is that an analyst from B of A came out about a month and a half ago, and they basically said, "Oh, look, Celsius was growing at 100% year over year. Their numbers are starting to slow down," and that threw the market off. And so a lot of people, it was trading at $68 a share, threw it down to like 50s. And one of the things that I had my eye on it anyway, because I was like, the growth is just amazing. So while I was doing my due diligence, I noticed something, that fourth quarter tends to be a weak quarter for these guys every year. Why? Because it's an energy drinks company. You drink these things cold. You know, when the winter comes around, what do? You grab a hot cup of coffee. You don't grab an energy drink, really. So yes, demand can be down slightly. So I think the guy looked at some very short-term numbers and made a determination and put out an article. And so when he put that article out, it just sent the market down, and it was a perfect opportunity to just load the boat. And that's what I did. So yeah, now I'm riding.
Are you selling any of them?
No.
Really?
I did sell a little bit only, but what I did is I didn't sell those contracts. I sold forward contracts, and I created a spread, and I used the proceeds to buy even higher strike, because I think this goes much higher up. So
got it.
Yeah, and I also posted a lot of this due diligence on my Patreon. So if you want to get in there and check it out, go for it.
Okay. So that's what we got on Celsius. Now here's the next thing. Vitaly and Chris, you guys have to answer this, because I am no longer a shareholder of this company. But this company's down 2% after hours, because OpenAI said they're coming out with a new search engine, and Google got scared. The market got scared. What's going on with Google, guys? Is this all bullshit? Is this Bing 2.0? This is not going to take away any market share? Or are you guys a little worried that the market doesn't trust Google right now? Vitaly, you can go, then Chris. You're muted, Vitaly.
Sorry, I do want to bring up the charts for Google.
Okay.
And so, Chris, you want to take over for a second?
Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
All right. So is there an existential threat to Google's business long-term? Yes, absolutely. Yes. You know, some people are using Perplexity AI. Some people are thinking that, you know, Bing with its AI offerings can draw away people. And you know what? To be fair, I actually do use Bing a little bit more now. Why? It's because they integrated Copilot into Bing search. So now when I'm doing certain research for stocks and stuff, I actually find Bing to be better than Google. And I don't know how it happened, but it did. Like, so as an
Really? So
example,
you're like legitimately using Bing for your stock research now?
I mean, just one feature, which is the finance app. So I'll show you what I mean. Let me just demonstrate it real quick. So like, let's say we're looking at this right now, right? This is standard Google. So if I want to look for Celsius, right? So I'll look at Celsius, but it's very bland. It's not really a lot of stuff here. You see, it's just kind of there. You'll get the basic information. You'll get the news articles behind it, all the stuff, right? Let's compare that to Bing now. Okay. So it's funny. I had to type in, went to Google. That's the thing. It's like muscle memory that happens. Right. But like here, I can go to Celsius, right? Same thing. And this is all the stuff for it. I can see the analysts right here. But what's also nice is you get an in-depth analysis, and then you can do a lot of the research here. You can compare them against other things. You can actually, the Copilot itself actually helps you look for things as well. So if I want to look for indicators, I can just go right here. So it's a very quick and easy way.
Is
so
this Copilot what you're using right now? Where's the Copilot? I want to see. Like,
right here. Copilot is right here. So you can just put right here, like, hey, and Copilot, it's actually pretty accurate compared to Bard. Like, so like right now it's like, what is the stock price for Celsius Holdings? Right. And it'll actually give you the stuff. It'll be relevant information as of that. And then you can actually ask it, like, what is the PE? And what, based on projections, what will the PE be in 2026? And so it'll actually go through the stuff and actually find all the stuff for you, you know.
Right. This is actually really cool,
Okay.
dude. I might. I've been using Gemini for stock questions, but it's not the best. Definitely not.
Yeah, no, this is good, man. It's really getting there, you know.
Hey, sorry guys, this thing just booted up and I'm seeing the pass through for the first time.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
It's fucking really good, dude. Holy shit. Yeah. The other thing is the sound. Like, I don't have earphones on, but the sound is sick. Like, there's this
spatial audio.
There's this little music that plays when you first turn it on, and it's kind of like, sounds like spa music, you know, but it sounds like it's everywhere. It's fucking creepy right now. And I'm looking at the screen and I can read the text. Like, okay, she's telling me to like touch the top, but can you guys see my eyes?
No, we can see the screen.
It's too reflective. If you turn off your screen, maybe.
Maybe let me see.
All right, let's get VITALY on the Google charts. All right, here you go.
Okay, so there's two things going on with Google. Has nothing to do with Bing at all. Two things. One, Sundar Pichai is one of the worst big tech leaders. He's causing this whole mess. It's not one thing. It's the multiple missteps we've talked about for, I don't know, a year now, year and a half. Just multiple missteps, along with just giving away everything under the sun for free, basically, in terms of their technology of transformer tech, which started it all in, I think, 2017 or something like that. So that's number one. That's important because these missteps, our fundamental people are watching the missteps, right? I'm paying attention, even as a Google investor, to Sundar's missteps. Number two is just technicals. And once again, people ignore technicals. I have no idea why. But if you look at Google's history, and I want to show this again. So it's obviously in this long-term trend ever since 2005 or whenever, basically a long-term trend. But if you zoom into where we are right now, and I brought this up before and why I've been much more bullish on Amazon, we are riding along the top of this trend. So if fundamentally Google was able to create positive news and do positive things and Sundar wasn't messing up every single week, then I think we can break through. Maybe we can go into another trend. But at this point, we are not. We are riding along, and I think the market is looking for a reason to go down on Google. We'll go down on Google. There you go. You can clip that. The market is looking to go down on Sundar Pichai. But I think any reason, any basically technical reason where people are trading the stock, they're going to look to tank it. And I know you're bringing up OpenAI and all this, but it's just these multiple missteps of Sundar. Plus, we're being very toppy on Google. Okay, we're hitting the.
What do you mean by toppy? What do you mean by that?
we're in this trend. Okay. We broke out of it during COVID and we crashed back into it. All right. And this is where I started picking up back when we were inside the trend. Now we are back hitting resistance, butting against all-time highs, of course. And if Google does the right things, maybe we can break through and have some massive run up because they're doing the right things, but they're doing so many wrong things that I don't know if we can break through. The best I can hope for is that we just ride it up and we're not, because I have Google call options, blah, blah, blah. I have Google stock, a lot of it. I want it to break through, but I just don't think the technicals are lining up with Google breaking through. And I don't think Sundar being the CEO is lining up to help us with Google breaking through. So I think those things are playing much more. The fundamentals being bad over a long period of time for Google, besides their stock buybacks and all that we talk, which is positive, but just the company's growth trajectory and these technicals that we're butting up against. There's going to be a moment where a decision has to be made, whether we go up or go down, obviously. And I don't know, it's looking more like it wants to go down because of all of these stupid things that keep happening with Google.
Okay, so here's the question. KRIS, and VITALY, when do you sell your Google? When do you get out of it? Do you wait for 170, 160, or what do you think?
I think the story on Google is a little bit overblown. I think they're fine. They have a lot of other side businesses that people don't want to give it credit. Everyone keeps looking at the search business as the only thing that they have. They've got other businesses that are still doing exceptionally well, like YouTube, like the like their cloud platform. So I think right now everyone is giving Microsoft an extended valuation on AI, and they're not doing the same for Google, which means Google is trading at more of a value play. So I'm going to give it more time. I'm not rushing to add more Google, but I'm not rushing to get out the door either. You know.
So VITALY? I'm also not selling. I'm not selling. And today I actually looked at call options on Google again, just to see, because it's down. And it's funny, it's still the same price basically from what I bought. I don't know, it was already 6 months ago. So it's not that much different in terms of a little bit more expensive, but not much. And I was going between Amazon today and Google, and I'm like, well, Amazon is just the easier bet. Like if you were to put $1 into it, Amazon's probably going to get you 2, and Google maybe will get you 20% more. But I mean, it's not a sure bet right this second. So it's really about waiting. And this is why I have all those shares and not just the call options, by the way, because I'm willing to wait with a large part of my portfolio on Google until they fix some of these things, which I think will happen eventually. At least I'm expecting it to. But that's why it's a little bit dangerous with some of these options, where I think, once again, back to Amazon, it seems much less dangerous, like much more of a sure thing that's happening.
I'll be looking at Google's layoff numbers because I think that's what's going to be the most interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Carlos.
No, just real quick because I'm on it. This eye tracking shit is fucking magic. I cannot. You just have to try this. It is fucking sick.
We can see the like blinking. I don't know what that light is.
I mean, is there a light? I don't know. I have to see.
Yeah.
See my eyes, but like it did this calibration where like you have to like look at these dots and then tap, right? But it's like instant. Like I could see actually typing instead of using your fingers. You're just like looking around and typing, like literally as fast as you can tap your fingers and look at a button, you could type. But it's like, it's weird. Normally you want to like turn your head to see something, but you don't have to.
Did you connect to the Wi-Fi already?
I'm doing it right now. Yeah, I'm going to connect to it.
Go to Pornhub. We want to see what it looks like. Share it with us.
Oh, are you allowed to? I wonder what is it.
Yeah, you're allowed to screen record it. We might not. We will get banned off YouTube if we show it, but you could put in.
I wonder if they block you. I wonder if they're like.
Oh man, this is pretty. It's sick. So the keyboard popped up, and it literally looks like the keyboard is right in front of my face. Like you feel like you can grab it. It's casting a shadow on my desk. I got to find a way of streaming this to you, but this is pretty sick. And then, oh man.
Anyway. Okay, so now the question is it sick enough for you to pick it up every day? That's gonna be
as of right now.
You have to give them like a week or two.
No, I know that's
time with it, but I gotta say, like, this is like, now I understand this is how Apple would do this. Like, look, I was on the quest for a while, and like I see it. It felt like, it felt good, but this is something else, man.
They spent years developing that eye tracking, hand tracking technology, which is why they waited so long for this thing.
Dude, if they had a way of having tactile, it literally feels like I am touching that button.
And see, when I used VITALY's thing at his house, the MetaQuest, it also felt like when I was playing chess, I was literally touching it, but it wasn't my fingers; it was with the joystick. So with your fingers, I would imagine it's even more magic.
When you looked at the chessboard, did it look like it's my
Yeah,
brain?
it looked real. It was amazing. It was
I'm saying
phenomenal.
my brain is telling me that there's an actual keyboard floating in space. It's so clear, and it looks like, I don't know. It's just this is crazy, and this keyboard is actually not bad so far. All right, I'm gonna try to put the password in. See if I can do
Larva
it.
says unzip, dude.
Yo, I read somewhere that you can't access porn on the Vision Pro.
There's no way, dude. You can just
I heard no.
They're
That's
blocking Safari.
is
Tim Cook
blocking.
shows up.
That's how Zuck wins. Zuck wins by allowing people to watch what they want to watch. Okay, Chris, real quick on Google layoffs, then we'll move on.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, I mean, Meta had its layoffs moment last year where they laid off 25% of staff. Google's not doing the same. Google's being very slow about it. So with the share price kind of tanking like this, maybe that'll be the Google soul searching that they need. And if they start doing that, bottom line goes up, free cash flow goes up, operating income goes up, and we have a repeat of what happened to Meta.
I don't know. See, the problem is he's taking his time doing this pivot you're expecting when Zuck was like, oh shit, my stock's at $85. Fire everybody. I don't think Sundar is, I don't know. He just feels like a weak person, like a weak CEO. He's taking his time. It's too long, dude.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this topic next, because this is a fun one, which is our boy Buffett. So, or Chris, you want to share this? No, this is your old one. Okay. So Buffett is asked the SEC in November to not let him disclose a stock that he was buying. I don't know why the SEC allowed it. I thought it's supposed to be like equal and shit, but they gave him the exception. So he didn't have to disclose. And as a result of that, he had his 13Gs come out today. He still doesn't have to disclose. CNBC reported that it's still undisclosed. It's not Sirius XM. People think that's what it is, but that's public. It's a different stock. Current portfolio, you can see right here, Coca-Cola, Chevron, Apple, Bank of America, Kraft Heinz, etc. My question to everyone in the chat is, what do you think he's buying? I think there's three options: Disney, PayPal, Verizon. He loves Disney. PayPal's doing buybacks, loves buybacks. Verizon, I think Chris nailed it on why he would want to get Verizon dividend. It was at $30 in the summer. Fair value is probably 50. What stock do you think Buffett is buying that the SEC is allowing him to not talk about?
Meta.
That's not a horrible option, by the way.
Because they just instituted their divvy. He's like, I got to get some of this.
It's a 50 cent dividend. Yeah. Dude, I think it might be PayPal. I know everyone's like, it's not PayPal, but I think it might be PayPal, dude. If it's fucking PayPal's not a tech company, by the way. It's similar to American Express. It's just a payments company.
And I don't get. First of all, let's go back. Why is he allowed to keep doing this? It's kind of annoying.
He's Buffett.
So he gets to keep accumulating for as long as he wants until that's bullshit, you know?
Well, his argument to SEC is like, well, if I announce this, the stock's gonna go up like 30% in a day. So
yeah, so give me another 2 months while I keep buying it. Okay.
He's Buffett, dude. He's Buffett. Chris, what do you think he's buying?
Verizon.
You think it's Verizon?
I mean, I'm hoping it's a Verizon, so I'm going to lean towards Verizon.
Let's see what the chat says. I think it could be Verizon. 6% dividend now. It fell to 29 in, what is it, July? That's when he started this thing.
How about Pfizer?
Possible. Pfizer's not a bad option.
It's something he would buy, and it's at its lows, has a big dividend right now. And if he sees any turnaround, he sees a massive dividend and upside.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think it's Tesla?
No.
It's Carlos, you're muted.
Shit, I'm not buying Tesla. Why would he buy Tesla?
He won't buy Tesla. He won't buy Tesla.
What do you think he's buying then, Carlos?
He's going long Bitcoin.
It's gonna be it's gonna be something we can't expect. That's why I was like, the whole serious thing would have made sense. It's like he knows something that we don't know.
If it's Baba, I don't.
No,
dude.
He saw what his friend went through. Charlie, he's not. No, I'm telling you,
Eli
it could be
Lilly,
Pfizer. I think it's Pfizer.
I mean, look, if it was Pfizer, that'd be interesting. I don't know if he wants to get the blowback though from investing in Pfizer, and
he has oil companies.
Yeah,
he probably has cigarette companies in his goddamn portfolio.
Okay, what about Disney though? Is there any world you think he says Disney is exciting, given they had all the activist investors come in? Stocks up 20% from the summer. When will he reveal? No one knows because the SEC has basically said you don't need to. If it was Palantir, it would explain the run up. I don't think it's Palantir. I don't think he cares about enterprise software platforms as much.
Disney could be a possibility because he likes these brands.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Celsius would be a Peter Lynch play, but I mean, it doesn't go against his investing philosophy.
I don't think it's Disney. He divested out of Paramount, so I don't think it's Disney. Yeah, otherwise, he would have just kept the other entertainment company. I'm telling you, I think it's Verizon. At one point, he owned Verizon. One of his chief things was valuation is actually good. You know, right now the company's doing well on. I think it's Verizon. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Next topic. This one's really exciting. This one I got dead wrong. I think Carlos and I both got this dead wrong. Kris and Vitaly got this right. Uber's up 10%, $150 billion market cap. They announced a $7 billion buyback, made $1 billion in profit last quarter. Vitaly, why should we keep buying
Profit
Uber?
or revenue? Profit or revenue?
Profit. So
Yeah, they're doing a big, massive. What'd you say? 9 billion buyback, right? Something like that.
7 billion buyback.
7 billion. I mean, look, we talked about this. I think even all the way back to what show did we do? What was it called?
Daily Cabo. Well, we
Daily
talked about this
Cabo.
when the stock was $29. So you and Kris were saying buy. Me and Carlos were like, I don't think so.
I had calls too, by the way. My calls were for $30. I sold them too soon as well. But in either case, it's obvious that this is a monopoly. It's obviously they're going to keep growing their logistical monopoly. The only concern I had was if Lyft was going to win. And I think last year sometime it became clear enough that Lyft was not going to win, that Uber was going to take it all. And that's when I sold Lyft, in fact, and went even heavier into Uber. So it's just obvious what's going on. You're talking about a massive company being built that's going to control the space. They already control it, but it's just going to get bigger.
Okay, Kris, your thoughts on Uber, and do you still like this company, the thesis on it, or not anymore?
I'd still like it. I think eventually it ends up being $1 trillion company. I mean, I can't tell you.
I agree. I agree with you, Kris. 100%.
Uber becomes $1 trillion?
Yeah.
That means you think a 10x is from here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe 8x now. We already got our 3x so far. Me and Kris.
Okay, why? What the hell is the reason this thing goes to $1 trillion? That's
Dude,
Bro,
they are
don't do-
logistic monopoly. They will own logistics. Do you know how that's everywhere? That's everything and everywhere.
Pretty much. Bro, right now,
crazy.
the minute
And
you
they're
got off,
advertising.
okay,
And they're
dude, you get off the plane, you call an Uber. You get on the plane, you call Uber. I know someone that spends $900 a month on Uber in New York City. Why? Because it's cheaper to just Uber everywhere than it is to have your own car and do insurance and find parking and all the other nonsense. So what do? They just Uber. If they need to go long distance, they do a rental car too. If they need to, now hospitals are using Uber to get patients back and forth. They're like, screw it. Why do we have these cars?
Let me tell you a real example too with me. So I fly all over the place, and my company that I work for, the production company, they have an Uber account, corporate Uber account, and that's what I use to get to and from the airport. So you open up the app, and Uber is smart enough where you can use different accounts right in the app. They're already set up for corporations to be. It's very crazy how well they're set up, and it makes it totally seamless. It's amazing. In fact, it was so seamless. Let me give you this example. I used the wrong credit card. I wasn't using the company's. I used my personal by accident. You can go in the app after I went home. There was the next day. It said, use a different card. And it changed the card to the company card after I messed up.
wow.
I'm saying these are little things that just make it so convenient to use their app. Like they are in charge of this logistics thing that you considered for a long time that it's not important. I think this is super important. And plus they're advertising in the app as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, speak on the ad business. Why do you think the ad business is an untapped opportunity?
Well, maybe Kris knows more about the numbers, how fast it grew, but literally from zero, people are paying to advertise in their app.
Okay, so here's a question. When you go to your Uber Eats app, okay, let's say you're a restaurant owner. We discussed this last time, but we'll rehash it right now. If you're a restaurant owner and someone is searching for Chinese, where do you want to be placed on that app? At the top, right?
Right, yeah.
So number one, what are you going to do? You're going to pay more. You're going to say to Uber, hey, listen, pay me $20 more, $100 more, but put me at the top of the rankings because that's where the people are going to click the most. If you put me all the way at the bottom, I'm not going to get the clicks. I'm not going to get the conversions. That's what Uber can do. So within a 5-mile radius, they could say Wong's Pizza or Wong's Wong's Chinese food. Yeah. I'm thinking New York.
If there's a pizza store called Wong's Pizza, I'm not buying that fucking pizza. Dude. There's no way in hell. I mean,
so that rank at the top, and that's the same thing that's happening with Amazon, right? Look at Amazon's ad business. What is Amazon really doing? All they're doing is just showing you one product before the other one, right? So right now, if you want to be at the top of the page for shoes, you are going to pay, right? So same thing that happens with Uber Eats. They'll be at the top of the list. That's what happens, man. You know,
Uber is one of those companies that I've just been holding on, waiting for everybody to recognize how important they are to everything. And it's amazing to me we're still arguing about it, because I think me and Carlos have been talking about a channel, you know, it fell down to $15. So we were trading it as low. I remember back in 2020, it fell to 15. We were trading at 15, 18, 20. It's so crazy that it's so obvious, yet nobody believes it. It's like, how can you not see this, Amit, that this is happening? That Uber is just basically taking over logistics.
But you think it's a good?
You know that Uber has
$80?
freight.
Yeah.
Do you know that Uber has freight services now too, where literally if you need, my hospital system is using Uber to transport records and transport things between hospitals. Can you believe that?
I mean, I didn't know they were using it like that. I mean,
I didn't realize that either until we had a delivery. Okay, so my hospital, we have 9 sister hospitals around the city. Okay. All the deliveries happened to my hospital where we had all these workstations show up, right? So we had to set the workstations up and then send them out to all these radiologists around the city because they were going to be remote reading. So question is, how do you send out those workstations to those radiologists? I went downstairs and there was an Uber driver waiting. They loaded up all the computer and everything. The Uber driver took it directly to that person's house. Easy, simple, done. You know, so Uber, there's so many services. Like, I forgot what the service is called, but it's basically like if you need one thing to go from one place to another, you don't have to. It's like a courier service almost too. You know, yeah.
No, I mean, you can absolutely use it for that. Yeah. So
yeah.
The thing is, if you need to get something from A to B, which everybody has to do, you're going to use Uber. That's really, and Lyft. I know it popped recently, but I mean, I think they're fucked. I think Lyft is going away. I think Uber is just a clear monopoly, and which is bad for everybody else, because who survives? The taxi network will not survive with Uber.
Yep.
Wong, I'm sorry. Please make sure I can enter into your pizza stuff.
And the $1 trillion valuation KRIS gave, that is exactly what I've been thinking for a long time. It's going to that is one
why
of the
don't you
only
have more Uber in your portfolio? I don't think it's a big part of your portfolio.
I have a decent position in Uber.
And also,
I don't talk about it because nobody wants to hear about it. First of all, nobody cares about Uber. But what's funny is I believe Uber is going to be valued more than Enphase.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also remember, Amit, don't look at Uber just as just a U.S. company. They're all over the place. You go to Europe, you go to, you know, I think they have a stake in some Chinese ones too, in Japan, around all over the world, man. So the market is much larger than people think, you know.
Real quick, can you, then we'll get Carlos here. Why do you think Lyft is not going to work, Vitaly?
Well, just even from my own experience, first of all, they've been fucking up for years. And I think last year, basically, when their stock tanked because of terrible metrics, and they never expanded. This is actually the main reason. They never expanded during COVID. Dara saw a way to pivot to food, and Lyft decided that's not worth it. That is not a big business. And he was completely wrong. So it shows you the leadership that Dara, what's his last name? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Kawasaki or whatever. He realizes that he's in the logistics business. He's not in the ride sharing business. The other guy does not realize this. That actually makes me very bearish on Lyft, that they don't understand what business they're in. They think they're in from getting just ride sharing people here to there. They're wrong. And that's why they're going to lose.
By the way, the CEO today said on his mistake that my bad.
Funny. Yeah, that was funny.
My bad.
He's like, it was just 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. I mean, this is
big
just like
fucking difference between 50 and 500.
These are
as the Delta CEO would say when a plane crashes, oopsie.
Right?
Oh
Oops.
boy. Oh boy.
I think they'll get acquired. Lyft.
Carlos, are you convinced on KRIS and VITALY on Uber, or still not convinced? 'Cause
No.
that's a good argument. No, you're
No.
not convinced. Okay, why?
You know why? Because they've proven the service, but I don't think that anyone has any specific loyalty to Uber or Lyft. If they can get the same service for cheaper, then they would just use the service. Like, why would you want to stay with Uber? I mean,
You're missing the point that the network is that's the hard thing to rebuild. That no one will have the money now to rebuild Uber's network. That's the problem. And Lyft is the only one who was close enough to do it.
but what is Uber's network? When you say build a network, you mean the apps installed on the phones and the drivers? Like, what's the physical
I mean,
network?
we've talked about it. Like, that matters. The actual network between all of the contracts and the contractors and all the people and all the cars, the freight, the flying, everything that they're doing, they have the ability to scale and lower prices. No one will be able to do what they do because they did it so early.
Okay, but you're still talking about an app and a series of drivers.
It's just an app then. Just like Bitcoin is just a crypto, just some code.
I'm just trying to challenge it because I feel like
So I'm
something
saying
like,
networks matter. And I believe networks matter because you don't invest in Bitcoin if networks don't matter.
sure, but Bitcoin is something proprietary. Like, it has that proprietary network. What I'm saying is, if somebody came out and had an app that offered the same service for $1 cheaper than Uber, everyone would just use that. That's
Okay,
the
how
reason
do you
so hard to
that?
build that?
Well, no,
It's
that's
so
a bad
hard.
argument. So, okay, right now I have Uber that's everywhere.
Mhm.
So now I need to download some app that is in 3 places until they build their network. What are you saying here?
What do you mean? Well, I mean, 3 places. What do you mean 3 places? Like 3 places
My
physically?
point
Like,
is
when I
they
went
have to
Hawaii-
build.
When I went to Hawaii, I had Uber, and there was like 3 Uber drivers on the whole island. They just didn't have any. There was just no
Okay.
driver. Like, Hawaii is known for that. It's like the island time, right? So there's like an average wait of like 40 minutes for the 1 or 2 or 3 Ubers that were there, and people ended up using local car service instead. So even though
Bro, I need to
I'm not
become
following
Uber
what you're
driver in
saying.
Hawaii, bro. They look like if they don't want to work, I'll do it.
actually
Shoot.
the chick that ended up picking us up, she said if you just drove Uber and actually took it seriously, you would clean up.
Oh, so she didn't say drive the local taxi. She said drive Uber.
So what? No. She
Dude,
had,
I
Carlos,
mean,
I don't think
look-
you can rebuild that network that easily, dude.
Look,
There's-
the
they have
point is
150 million
right
drivers.
now, if I land anywhere, when I do travel, I get out of the car, I call an Uber, and Uber shows up. Bottom
Sure.
line.
okay.
I open
But
up
would
Lyft.
you care?
Yeah,
Would you
now
care?
it's a little bit hit or miss whether it's there because they're not doing as well.
When I was dating,
And what's the third service? Juno? Do I open up Juno? That's in New York.
When I was out and we were dating, and we were going out for the night,
Whoa.
we were trying to get
We
somewhere.
were not dating.
There was
Don't
2 or
even-
3 of us. Someone would say, "Open up Uber, open up Lyft," right?
gotta
That's what
go.
we would
See you
do.
later,
We'd be
guys.
out in a group. They would say, "Open up Uber, open up Lyft," compare what the prices were, compare who would get there faster, and then that's what we did. It wasn't like, "Oh no, it has to be Uber," or
I
it
know
has
it
I
happens
don't
less.
think people
than-
are. I don't think.
And I used to be a fucking crazy Uber Eats maniac. I was ordering, but the fees went up so much that I barely use it anymore. Same thing with DoorDash. And there's like another service like that.
Okay, so who
What
are
I'm
you
saying-
calling now?
They have proven that service is definitely in demand. I'm just questioning that if someone
Well,
comes out-
you're missing my point. They built this massive service almost everywhere, maybe not in Hawaii, whatever, everywhere. So
Okay.
to make it easy for me and corporations, by the way, which are using this hand over fist, like I said, I have a corporate app that I connect to my own Uber account. It's just nobody even thinks about it. We open up the Uber app and we just use it. We're not trying to get price parity with Lyft. We're not trying to find Juno. We're not trying to get a taxi cab. We
Yeah, but
just
at the
want it
same-
handled.
Yeah, but at the same time, every company in America had and owned and gave Blackberries to their employees, and they moved on from that.
Now Uber is a BlackBerry.
No, what I'm saying is what seems like something that has like infinitely deep penetration can easily be disrupted by either a better product or a lower
Okay,
price.
so okay, but there has to be a better product. So that's the assumption here. What is the better product?
The better product will be robotaxi.
No, not will be. What is it now?
Well, we're not talking about now. I'm saying in the future. This is what I think will eventually disrupt.
But if Uber is $1 trillion before robotaxis, which at this point I think
I
it's
mean,
gonna be
I
a
mean,
lot
that-
of robotaxis.
Listen,
Like,
and that could very well happen. But if you ask yourself what a company like Uber would need to compete with like a robo-taxi network, what would they need to do? They either need to buy the cars or license the software. So the company.
yeah, but if they license the software, that
well, I'm
they're just
betting
gonna
on
survive.
teleportation. Teleportation is going to be better than robo taxis, 100%.
Okay.
You get
No,
my
I
point.
agree. I agree with your point, Carlos. I just think if they have to license FSD, they'll just fucking license it, and then Tesla will get paid, but so will Uber. Their business won't die.
But okay, but let's go into the future. Let's just go into the future. If Tesla actually gets that robotaxi network going, no one can be cheaper than them because they get the cars and they're not paying for the licensing. No one can be cheaper than them.
I agree. I think it's
It's
going to
mad.
take a decade. It's going to take a decade for robotaxi, dude.
And this is a big if in terms of like S curves. But let's just go with me on this. Tesla announces their robotaxi network tomorrow. They announce it tomorrow, and they say we've got X number hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, Uber's in trouble. Uber's in trouble.
What do you think happens to Uber and Lyft stock?
Yeah, because it's going to be cheaper rides from. But first, you got to get people to want to be in self-driving cars. You got to get the regulatory approvals.
What do you think happens to what do you think happens to rental car companies like Hertz? If you say, why would I mean, forget about the idea of like Uber, but just like having a car as a service. It's just it shows up whenever you need it.
It's hard to argue with the future.
And other companies,
That's all I'm gonna say.
other companies are doing this too. I mean, both Google and Apple are both working on solutions to this very thing because they understand that, like, hey,
Carlos, while you're waiting for robotaxis, Uber's 3xing, probably going to 4 or 5x. My point is, there's upside to Uber right now, and to ignore the upside is not being a good investment. Robotaxis, I agree, are coming, by the way. I just don't think it's coming in a year where it can just take over Uber's network in a year. That's sort of silly to believe.
I mean, I'm not denying that there's still upside for Uber. And you have to understand something too, like they're buying back their shares. How much of this pump is on them buying back their shares? You have to understand when a company's buying back their shares, they're making all of this profit. Okay, they're not returning the company, and
they were at $70 before this buyback.
What I'm saying is, the company makes all this profit, and they take that money as all this profit revenue, and they just dump it back onto the shareholders, who could then sell the shares in the open market. That's
what are we talking about? They don't dilute shareholders. They buy back the stock. That gives you more.
Buying back the
stock. They buy back the shares, right? Which raises the EPS, which gives you more money. It raises the market cap.
That's good for shareholders. Yeah.
It is. It's great. It's great for shareholders.
We need Tesla to do some of that shit.
But
hold on. He said the wrong thing. Market cap does not change when you buy back your shares, because you're removing shares. It's the market cap should relatively stay the same. The per share times the number of shares still. So that's the market cap, right? So that stays the same, the market cap. It's just that your share value goes up because there's less shares.
You have more piece of the pie.
So my point is,
you have a bigger piece of the pie. That's right.
Right. So if they're announcing those buybacks, and you're saying to yourself, oh, if I hold these shares before they do these buybacks, I'm going to basically get profit sharing or revenue sharing. So that's a reason to buy the stock.
It is a reason. I agree.
Yeah. It's a reason, but I mean that's how
a pretty good reason. I mean, PayPal, all these PayPal investors, the only reason they're happy is because they're buying back 5% of the float or whatever.
That's what it is. I mean, it's the oldest trick in the book.
Listen, it worked for Apple. What's wrong with other companies doing it? Google's doing it. Meta's doing it. This is the way the market works. I mean, I see no issue with that.
All right, that's it for us. This was fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and we got Coinbase earnings. That'll be a special one.
That's going to be a good one. And I'm going.
What time is that? Is that after market close?
Yeah, I'll be streaming that at like 5 p.m.
That's going to be an interesting one. I think they're going to pump.
I can't see how they don't pump. Maybe I'll hop on with you on my little. Now that I got this thing set up, this like initial reaction.
Hey, stop grabbing my nips.
This thing is pretty fucking sick. I'm pinching your head. This thing is pretty fucking sick. I don't know what the complaints. First of all, the weight. I don't think the weight's a problem. And the thing of what people were saying about not being able to read text, I can easily read the text on my phone. Like easily read the text on my phone. Actually, like I think
they were saying there was some distortion that if you hold it maybe too close or something like that. I'm not sure.
Got it like right up to my face, and I can read anything. Like, why don't we do a FaceTime right now? VITALY, FaceTime me. FaceTime me. Hold on. How do I do that on here? Let me see my face. Or see if you can FaceTime me and see if it shows up. I'm not gonna have my face because I haven't.
You're gonna have the AI version of yourself.
I gotta say, this is pretty fucking sick. Like this.
All right, let me end it here. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Well, hold on, we're doing a FaceTime thing.
That's gonna take a while, right?
Take a second. Okay.
Take a second.
There, I see you. I see. Oh, it's crazy. You're like a little floating bubble. Okay. I'm joining.
You're gonna click OK.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I don't see you though. You're not showing yourself.
Well, I don't have my avatar set up, but I do.
Oh, you gotta set up the avatar.
Yeah, I gotta do that later. But it's really clear, and you're like right here. It's fucking weird, dude. I gotta record a video of this. You gotta see how cool this thing looks.
Well, you gotta get the avatar set up.
I gotta get that set up and see how.
All right, so let's do it tomorrow night. Get the avatar, then we'll show your avatar on VITALY.
Maybe I'll just show up as my avatar.
Actually, I think you can connect it. Yes, you can connect it to
I think I
StreamYard.
can. Yeah, to
It
StreamYard.
does virtual cameras. You can do
Yeah.
that, and Quest does it too, by the way. But yes, these avatars are cool. I actually do like the Apple avatars.
I think they look like
It's
shit.
a step in the right direction with these avatars.
They look weird. All right, guys.
No,
I'll see you later.
it's the beginning. It's the beginning of like actually getting our real images into the into the VR system.
Well, that is a good point. Even okay, I've got this device on. It's Apple's most advanced device, but it still feels like a version 0. This feels very much to me like the Apple Watch version 0, where you're like, wow, this is going to be cool in a few generations.
It's gonna get way better. It's gonna get
But
way better.
it's already amazing how everything is just so locked. Anyway, I'm feeling this. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go play with this thing.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Good
All right,
night.
bye.